Alright guys, I am back with my review of this week's WWE Monday Night Raw for April 15th, 2013. And I thought this was kind of actually a below average show. I know I said last week that I had no faith in the company to keep up this momentum after that badass Raw we got. And this is, I mean, I expected more than this at least, but yeah, this was really a below average show. The fandangoing crap. I actually like the stuff with the Ryback, but yeah, really an average show. R-Truth goes over Wade Barrett. Kofi beats Cesaro for the title. I mean, what the hell is going on here? It just didn't make any sense. But to start off, we get Orton and Sheamus versus Big Show again. Sheamus actually gets Big Show up on his shoulders and drops him, which was an impressive move. Big Show tries to chokeslam Orton. Sheamus Brogue kicks him. Orton RKOs him for the win. How is Big Show a heel? This guy is fighting against the odds. I mean, he's the babyface here. These two are ganging up on him, and the entire storyline is that Big Show wanted to be partners with these guys and face the Shield at WrestleMania, and they wouldn't tag him in. I mean, he did everything right. So it doesn't make any sense at all. 3MB calls out the Shield. They want a handwritten apology. Instead, Brock Lesnar comes out, destroys them. Heath Slater tries to run away, and Lesnar pounces on him like a damn cheetah, hits the F5 across the barricade. Fans chant one more time. Lesnar gets this sick look in his eye, but Heyman says that he respects Triple H for knocking out Lesnar at WrestleMania, but Lesnar doesn't feel the same way, and Lesnar wants to fight him again at Extreme Rules in an old school steel cage match. I don't know if they mean like the blue cage or what, but should be interesting. Cesaro versus Kofi for the US title. The yodeling is painful. I was embarrassed for this poor guy. Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise. Cesaro gets knocked out of the ring. And they go back and forth, they trade some roll-ups, but Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise again for the win. New U.S. champion. I said, I think it was my SmackDown review, Cesaro pissed somebody off backstage. He had to have. I mean, this is brutal. I mean, he's been losing, he's got the yodeling gimmick. The guy was doing great before, just having great matches. He looked impressive as hell, hitting the neutralizer on Kali and on Brodus Clay. Just, his promos were good, the whole he's better than the Americans thing was working for him. He was getting heat, and now this is just ass. So Dolph, Big E, and AJ come out. He says last week was the greatest moment in Raw history. He says that when you're this good, you have perks. Fame, fortune, everyone wants your autograph, and this. And he goes and he kisses Big E. And he's kissing AJ, and Big E's just standing there like this, and the camera zooms in on Big E's face for some reason. It was so weird. And Del Rio comes out, and he says he wants his rematch tonight. Vicky comes out and says Del Rio can have his match. They're about to fight, and then Swagger and Zeb come out, and Zeb says Dolph won thanks to Swagger, and Del Rio definitely doesn't deserve another shot. It should be Swagger in there. So Swagger gets in the ring. Del Rio fights him off. He turns around and Big E's staring him down. So while Del Rio's distracted, Swagger pulls him out of the ring. He smashes his injured leg against the ring post and tries to break his ankle. Del Rio has to get medical attention. I thought this was pretty good, actually, and I assume this means triple threat match, and of course that's what they announced later. Team Hell No versus the Primetime Players again. I mean, my God, I can't believe this shit. I mentioned this on SmackDown. Just, we've seen this so many times. We've seen it one-armed. We've seen it blindfolded. There is no need to ever do this match again with Team Hell No and these guys. I mean, it's horrible. And Team Hell No and The Undertaker versus The Shield is announced for next week, the London show. I'm curious to see what happens, because I don't think Taker's going to actually work a match. There's going to be some type of shenanigans going on. But Kane chokeslams Darren Young. Daniel Bryan hits the headbutt for the win. Ryback has a video. This video. He says he didn't want to be in Cena's shadow. If Cena's Superman, he's Kryptonite. He says he was attacked 6 times by the Shield and Cena never helped him. This video lasted way too long. And it felt like the Bully Ray exposing the secrets of the Aces and Eights thing that TNA did to me. Because they showed the clips and everything. That's just the vibe I got. I'm not saying they directly copied them. Maybe they didn't. But that's what it felt like to me, was the Aces and Eights thing. But yeah, it lasted a long time. Ryback he's not the best talker. And to put him out there for this long, it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. They should have kept it short. He's a guy who should be just dominant and talk as little as possible. And understand they had to give him a reason, but it went on a little too long. R-Truth versus Wade Barrett. Barrett goes for the wasteland. R-Truth reverses it. Hits Little Jimmy for the win. That's it. Teddy Long tells Vicky and Maddox he set up a match with Dolph versus Swagger. Is it that hard? Is it that hard to set up a match with these guys? Like, did Teddy Long really do something that crazy? Like, Maddox and Vicky were sitting there like, oh, what are we going to do? They couldn't do this? Khali and Santino versus Rhodes Scholars. Santino hits Sandow with the Cobra. He tries to hit Cody, but Cody ducks and rolls to the outside, and Hornswoggle hits him in the stomach with the Cobra, and Cody just looks at him and says, are you serious? You're not even doing it right. Like there's some secret technique to the Cobra. I thought it was great. And Khali punches Cody. Sandow rolls up Santino for the win, holds the tights. Afterwards, Rhodes Scholars do this weird pose cartwheel combination. I thought it was awesome. And Jerry Lawler says, I like Rhodes Scholars. And then they do the pose cartwheel, and he says, I don't know about that, though. So Jerry Lawler talks about Fandangoing. And he's talking about the craze. They show clips from the media. And he has Fandango come out. And Fandango asks the fans to pronounce his name so they can all Fandango together. Go Fandangoing or whatever the fuck. And they can't get it right, so he leaves. This is shit. And I've said before I like Johnny Curtis. I think he's done a lot with this character, but I just still do not like the character. I think it's horrible. It's very Brodus Clay, Funkadactyls, all that stuff. It's just going to fizzle. There's only so much you can do with this before it gets old. And it's already old to me because I don't know how many times I need to see him say, Fandango. You gotta, no. You gotta feel the A's. Let the A's breathe. I can't watch this again. It's so long and drawn out, and it sucks. It does nothing for me. But the whole Fandangoing thing, this is WWE taking something that got a little bit of buzz in the media and just turning it into a joke. And last week, it was awesome when the fans were chanting his music or doing the thing or whatever, but it was spontaneous. Now it just seems forced and lame. And just, it's all greed. They took something that was just an original thing that people just started doing, and now they're just trying to make money off of it. And they're just going about it in the absolute worst way possible. So that's what I think about Fandangoing. Cena says he's ready to handle his business with Ryback face to face. We get Dolph Ziggler versus Swagger. I'm glad to see Dolph came out with the title flipped around backwards. I know JBL had a meltdown over this on SmackDown. But Dolph did it here. JBL didn't say shit, so I was happy about that. Swagger tosses Dolph across the top rope and rolls him up for the win. He beat him clean here. And I don't think it's that big a deal because I'm sure Dolph's going to win the triple threat match. But still, beating him clean like this, it's kind of strange. Del Rio attacks Swagger on the ramp, puts him in the arm breaker across the stage, and he winks at Dolph. Mark Henry attacks Sheamus again backstage. This is hilarious to me for some reason. Punk and Heyman come out. Punk talks about his title reign, The Rock, how he wanted to face The Undertaker because of the streak and everything, and fans chant Punk, they chant Taker, and then CM Punk just walks away, and Heyman's all confused. I really, really hope this is not building up to another CM Punk face turn. I think that would be the absolute worst thing they could do with this guy. Booker tells Teddy that he's overstepping his bounds. He didn't consult him about the Swagger Dolph match, and Booker says, I'm going to make it, Swagger's going to get his title shot, and Del Rio's going to get his title shot. It's going to be a triple threat match. He doesn't say it at Extreme Rules, but I assume that's where it's going to be. And the weird thing about this, and maybe it's nothing, it probably is nothing, but Teddy's reaction when Booker says Swagger's going to get his title shot, Teddy was like, and then he says, and Del Rio's going to get his title shot, and Teddy's like, and I don't know if they're trying to do something where Teddy Long's going to turn heel, he's in cahoots with Zeb Coulter or something, I don't know. I mean, maybe he was just acting like that because how are they both going to get their title shots? Maybe that's what confused him, but it just seemed a little strange to me. Caitlyn versus Nikki Bella. Nikki wins with Twin Magic. I think Brie gets in and hits a drop toe hold across the rope on Caitlyn or something. Who really cares? Cena calls out the Ryback. And an interesting story. I was at a sports collectible store yesterday, and I was talking to the guy who ran the store because I'm not really a big sports fan or anything. I don't know anything about football or basketball or baseball or any of that. And I asked him, just joking around, you got any pro wrestling stuff? That's the only sport I watch. And he said he's had some John Cena stuff, some Rey Mysterio masks and things like this. And he actually said that John Cena is one of his biggest customers. Now, I don't know if this guy was making this whole thing up, or, I mean, I have no reason not to believe him. But he said John Cena is one of his biggest customers. He's a super nice guy, and he's tried to get Hogan, or he's thought about getting someone like Hogan or Flair to come sign autographs, but they would charge so much money, and he doesn't know if he'd make it all back. But he said that he met Cena at a convention, and he just came in and started buying a bunch of stuff, and there was a kid there in a wheelchair, and Cena said, let the kid have whatever he wants, and the kid got like a King Griffey Jr. baseball bat that was autographed for like $300 or something, and just a super nice guy. And I said, yeah, I mean, Cena's been very impressive with the Make-A-Wish stuff and everything, but I hate him. So I just thought that was kind of a funny story. Anyways, what the hell was I talking about here? So Cena says Ryback's video was boring, which it was. The championship is everything, and he understands what Ryback did. He just didn't like how he did it. He gets ready to fight the Ryback, and Ryback walks off. So the Shield comes out and attacks Cena. They triple powerbomb him. Fans chant one more time, and Ryback just watches and then walks away. He doesn't help Cena at all. And that was the end of the show, but the weird thing about this was there was a moment where it shows the Shield backstage, like getting ready to come out, and then Lawler says on commentary a few minutes later, did you see what I saw? I mean, I know I saw something. And I'm like, what is this crap? Are they trying to make this seem more realistic or something? It doesn't work. It was bizarre, but yeah, that was Raw this week. I thought it was an average show, maybe a little below average, just because a lot of this stuff wasn't very good. Khali Santino match and everything, and just big show and another handicap match. Storyline wise, there's just a lot of stuff that's not making sense right now. So I don't know. I think Ryback versus Cena has potential, but the other thing about this is Ryback walked away when Cena was going to fight him, and he really did not need to do that. The reason this is intriguing is because Ryback beats everybody. I mean, he doesn't win every match, but he just attacks people. He wants to fight people. That's Ryback. So for him to walk away, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing to the guy? The only reason I even give a shit about this match is because the way he's been booked, and now you're going to change the way he's been booked? So I didn't really care much for that. But anyways, that's my review of this week's Raw. I hope you guys liked the video. Leave your thoughts on this week's show in the comments, and thanks for watching.